because 95 na is kutoa block because I think with the salary cap that we have especially in Kenya, the 9 to 5 job like zinakuanga underpaying.
Okay, let's
even though like you have all the degrees and whatever, whatever like you give and whatever you're getting back, I think like the employer buys a lot of your time and your input. You're generating for the employer a lot than what you're getting. Hello guys, welcome back to Akilisha. For those wamekuwa kitufuatilia, I'm with your favorite guy here, host mwenyewe NJ.
Hello Wakilisha family, welcome back to episode number what, 33? Yeah. So Lucheli, how was your week?
Wiki yangu imekuwa smooth. Winter but I enjoy winter. Yeah, I like it when it's cold.
Mina
so
baridi,
I wouldn't complain.
Kama maji na mafuta. So umesikia nini hivi wiki? Grapevine wanasema nini?
Grapevine vitu ni mingi za recap.
Well, for me the biggest issue this week imekuwa ni mambo ya shule. Umesikia history yenye imetokea ya so just a small political segment kabla tuanze. Mambo ya shule, wase apparently wanachukua watoto wa kwenye shule zimejengwa vizuri, wanawatuma kwenye hakuna, na hao wanaletwa huku, and it may spark a very wild debate. So there is that. What else? Ishow speed amekuwa around.
Mademu wetu kwanza pale mtaani wamelia sana. Your nonchalant boyfriends. Mlienda mkajazana expressway kimbiza mwanaume mwenzenyu. So imekuwa very embarrassing.
It's not even about embarrassment. Me I think it's success in attracting mtu. It's not even about him as a person, because him as a person he is who he is, but his success, what he has able to accomplish. Because men are mostly attracted by success, but because sasa tuseme for example wakati unapatanga wase kama akina Rihanna, akina Nicki Minaj and the likes wamekam place wako na shows una nini, the largest population unapatanga huko ni madem. Why? Because they associate with the success of that person. No. So I don't know why kila mtu sasa akona ile ati wanaume hivi wanaume vile. So what were they expecting?
Unajua sasa designing tulikani kama tumeenda kusimpio jamaa, including your own president. Actually the president doing that clip ali to portray how a small country we are.
No,
that guy is basically a YouTuber. Don't say no. It's basically a YouTube streamer.
Yeah, but let me ask you, for the first time
kukaa chini when kuulize YouTuber mgani Kenya akona the highest numbers,
doesn't really matter.
No, give me an example.
No. Let me tell you why.
Let me use Bahatis, right? Let me use Bahatis.
But what kind of content are they putting out?
Do you think Bahatis, if they go to the United States, Trump anaweza acknowledge?
No, the thing is, what kind of content are they putting out?
Sizenye wanafanyaga.
No, look, huyu jamaa first and foremost his content is PG. Tuanze hapo. Content yake ni PG. Then he's the kind of guy mwenye ana resonate na kila mse, old, young, middle class, rich. Thirdly, amwezi anza kusema mambo ya Prezo alichukua the best advantage of the situation, and for me actually I say he's the best salesman for the country kwa vile alifanya. Why? Alikama come welcome. This guy was streaming to millions of people, not only in Kenya, in the world. Do you know what that means? In real time, people get to see our country in the best light possible. Uliona for the first time wase wanasema oh my god ati huko ni Africa, kumbe wako na building kama hizo. Then wana portray the images that they are given and what they saw. But if he had come akuja shoot alafu edit aweke, angesema ni AI ama ni green ni ile inaitangwa aje, green screen, so no. But the guy portrayed the country as it is in real time. Unaona? So okay, president hata asingekuja, it would have not made any change. But for him coming, inamaanisha we are a welcoming nation. We are a nation that is accepting people from all around the world. Ndio. So for him, he sold his country the best way he knows how. He came, he welcomed someone with influence. The same way when he goes to another country, I'm not comparing them both, but this guy, the kind of influence he has, he's almost become a presidential status.
Yeah, I won't deny him that because I've seen his journey a bit, especially also what he did for China. Yeye ndo like alikuwa anaonyesha those hidden gems nini. Yeah, and China really got to attract a lot of visits, especially the last 3 years. So him doing for us Africans, especially specific Kenya, because alikuwa Africa pia places zingine, but doing it for Kenya, at least aliweza ku-enlight the maras and people, you know, the images that people most of the time they receive inakuwaga ni Soweto, South Africa, na if it's in Kenya like ni Kibra.
No, the thing about it is
people, but now you see people when they get to see we also have these expressways and
you should understand
GTC
it's all political kwa sababu whenever sasa for example us zile vitu tunakuanga portrayed sana tukiangalia vitu kama za US ni black people getting killed, getting shot down, but we never see the successful people, black people in those countries. Watakuniambia they don't exist.
They do.
There are people who are doing marvelous things, there are people who are doing big things in those countries. But saizi mi ukiniuliza would you want to go to the US, I will say no. Kwa sababu my mindset ni nikishuka kwa airport, the first white cap I get ni kupointiwa bunduki nikiulizwa nini zilienda zikashuka. Unaona? But when you go to the ground, things are quite different. I've heard of people saying that the police there are quite respectful, and these are black people, are immigrant, but hawasemi national ama international platform. Unapatana na, so for example in setup kama hii yetu ya podcast, you have a friend there atakuja kuambia I've been stopped a few times, imekuwa hivi, they are very respectful, they are very kind people. You understand? But then you come to what the media is feeding us, like to the general public. Ukienda WhatsApp, ukienda TikTok, ukienda Instagram, it's only violence and bloodshed. The same way for them wana to portray in that light kwa sababu hawataki to attract watu wao wakuje huku in terms of investment. So for example watu wengi wapendi kufanya research. So kuna msee amekaa mahali anasema niko na kama kadhati yema hapa, naweza enda ni invest wapi? But akiona huko tunakaa kwa nyumba za matope, maji tunaendea hadi na buckets zimetoboka, sasa huko nitaenda ni invest nipate returns inakaa aje? But this guy came and showed the country as it is in real time, and that shocked the entire world in a way that like they were like, how developed are these countries, and what they show us and what we are seeing now, it's totally different. Secondly, hakulipwa na mtu. Hizo tu zenye anafanya, the only way he makes money is through his streams, but no one pays him ati kuja country yetu tuonyeshana in this light, in that light. The country should take opportunities of such people kuonyeshana the best possible picture of where they are, what they have accomplished, and where they are going as a nation.
Lakini siku ubaya pia, we also need to acknowledge, I think we over-respected this guy when he came, because mbona mademo wako show up venye machali, like wanaume manzejo wasalienda, wanaume walienda wakasimpwa, wanaume wengi manzejo. That guy was standing on top of cars like this and a record, you could see the whole background wanaume tupu, and ili bring debate pale hivyo NGC. Pale NGC like wase madem kwanza specific wasema mi hata mtu wangu sijui ni nini ajai nifanyia ajai sema, lakini people were shouting huko. Sitaki kumention but there's some also artists wanaenda kusimp sijui ni sainia hapa ni nini vitu kama hizo.
now that brings me to the topic of the day. So our topic of the day is mindset and
values.
So yeah. Now this is where the mindset comes in. So for example, wow, mindset yao ni what kind of attention they are giving to this guy versus the kind of attention they are receiving from this guy.
Yeah.
Now let us look at the value part of it on. The value part of it is jamaa akikunotice kama wewe Lucheli. Akunotice tu. He doesn't need to spend the whole day with you. He just needs to spend 2-3 hours with you. And all he needs to do ni kupost hata link tu ya Wakilisha podcast kwa nini yake, kwa stream yake. Then umemake it. That is what success pulls out of people. Everyone wants to be around success. Everyone wants to be associated with success. Not only them versus ishow speed, but even us. Saa hizi compared, kuna mtu atakam kwa orbit yako, trust me you, hata kama ukwangi mtu emotional utakuwa emotional, kwa sababu something is pulling you towards that person. You want to achieve what he has achieved. You want to get what he has gotten. Sindio?
Yeah.
This is how it is. So ni mindset yao. So wao wangeenda wakiwa hata upate ni madem tupu, how do they relate to this guy? They don't even know him as a story. But unajua kwa nini maboys wengi walienda huko? Because they relate and resonate with his story. Ushaijua story yake?
Azi.
No. This guy ilikuwa inasemekana alifika mahali akaona ni kama elewi kitu shule. But akasema I'm good at streaming. Ama kufanya hizo vituko na sarakasi whatever. A stream. So he decided to do that full time, dedicate his energy and everything. And his mom was not having that. So he told him, it's either you leave this streaming thing or get out of my house. So he packed and went to his dad's place. His dad supported him throughout. Hata akiwa na viewer moja anamwambia don't give up, continue, make it. But you see the same person mwenye alikuwa anamwambia ni either uache either this or that. Saizi ndio the first champion, yendo ana scream kwa awards. That's my son. Why?
Because the biggest fan.
Yeah, why? Because success pulls everyone towards you. Unaona?
Yeah, true.
So that is it. It's a matter of mindset. Hata all musicians, for them it was not even about him. It was like this guy is streaming to millions of people. Even if I just get to say I'm a musician from this country and I do hip hop, I do this and this is my name. Do you know out of 30 million people streaming, like ni watu wangapi wataenda tu a search we ni nani? Hata even if it's 2,000 people, even if it's 300,000, even if it's 2 million people, si imekupandisha ngazi yenye huko kuwa hapo.
Yeah, speaking of it, so what is the, like, what will you say this is the right mindset that one needs to have? It's maybe kama uko na goals fulani like so case and point nika tuko tuna discuss before. Unataka kutoka block na uko na hiyo mindset 5 to 9 ama 9 to 5 9 to 5, mindset gani unafukua nayo kutoka block?
First and foremost unafaa kuwa na positivity. Tuanze hapo. Si ndio? Secondly unaambiwa ngwa ile tuko nayo kwa mkono ndio inakusaidia. Si ndio? Have you ever realized, like for example, let's talk wacha tuongelee kitu kama weight loss. Si ndio? Weight loss. Na as a guy, you know, kuna time una feeling like uko hapa but unataka kuachieve a certain physique. But the work that goes into doing that is so much and so painful. But if mindset yako yuko right towards what you want to achieve, giving up is the easiest thing to do. Sindio?
Yeah.
If you know, like just starting, hata tuseme for example unaanza kufanya gymming ama kitu kama hiyo, the pain that comes within the first 1 month and no result at all, hakuna result utaona, but the pain that goes into that is so much and so like inakuanga ni unbearable. Sometimes you just even can't get out of bed kwa sababu kila part ya mwili yako inauma. Let's talk about giving up the sort of foods you want to eat. It's easy to eat a cake, si ndio? You have to give up that.
Mm.
Ni hizi kukula junk, sukari mingi, soft drinks, pombe, vitu kama hizo zote ni very easy to have them because they are accessible and they are good and they make you feel some type of way. But you have to give them up.
Yeah.
Sindio? So let's talk about 9 to 5. Uko na job inakupatia constant income. Tuanze hapo. Sindio?
Yeah.
So what else do you think you need to know for that to translate into you becoming a wealthy person? Ama kutoka block, as we say.
Yeah. So for me, that one, I tend to disagree. I think for the longest, my mindset for the longest is not that only my mindset, but in a practical way. I've seen in most cases, like people who do 9 to 5, it's very hard kutoka block, as we'll say, yeah? Because 9 to 5 na is kutoka block. Because I think with the salary cap that we have, especially in Kenya, the 9 to 5 job like zinakuanga underpaying.
Okay, let's
even though like you have all the degrees and whatever, whatever like you give and whatever you're getting back, I think like the employer buys a lot of your time and your input. You're generating for the employer a lot than what you're getting. So you have to do, for example, an extra business. Maybe kuna fungua tu side hustle ni nini, after 5 kitokea uende ujitafutie mahali pengine ujishikilie.
So nikuulize, when someone talks about wealth creation, sindo? Wanasemanga ndio useme umeanza create, like you have started the process ama you are in the process of creating wealth. How many sources of income should you have? More than one, yeah. Sindio?
Yeah.
It should not only be your salary, sindio? But this is where the mindset comes in. Ni rahisi sana kusema 9 to 5 yezi kusaidia, but kila weekend uko Naivasha. Sindio? The newest Jordans zikitokea uko nazo. Sindio? The best raves, clubs. Nikikuuliza utaniambia. No.
On that point, let me ask you something.
No, let me tell you, because this is where I want to get you.
No. I also want to get you first before I forget. You know, when you say like this, is case and point is like you know, wale watu wenye wanasemaga miss kunywangi. In life kuna watu wanasemaga miss kunywangi. But in most cases we have encountered, tena hawase hawananga do au 9 to 5. Then kuna mwenye 9 to 5 still anakunywanga. No, you have heard these stories, right?
I've heard them,
but the ones who don't drink, they keep on pointing fingers. No, jamani, after mlevi.
We are not going to go there. Kwa sababu,
but you know it's a fact, right?
But this is what I want you to understand. This is what I want you to understand. Sindio? Hizi vitu zote nilikuwa nakwambia aje. It's not like the 9 to 5 yezi kutoa block. It's just where your mindset is. Say for example, uko na tuseme Jordans kama 10 kwa Shura. Sindio? Wezi enda nazo mboka tu. Kuonge ukweli.
True.
Sindio? And how many days are you working? 5 days out of the week.
Yeah.
If you're working in the public sector. Sindio? If you're working in the private sector, 6 days out of 7 days you're working. Sindio?
Yeah.
So which means you only get to wear your Jordans once a week. Na hata hiyo once a week ni by the grace of God. You get to wear them on special occasions. But you have 10 Jordans. Na hizo 10 Jordans nikicalculate vizuri, if you're getting the originals, and that's like over 100 G's lying somewhere just. Sisemi ni vibaya, it's good to look after yourself, it's good to look good. I'm not saying that. But what if you have 2 Jordans? And then you have 2 pairs of work shoes, ama 3 pairs of work shoes. And then, what if uamue, I want to start a business. Una hiyo capital, but tuseme, if kila mwezi nilikuwa nimesema nitajibaia Jordan moja, nijibaia outfit mpya kila moja, si ndio? What if nichukue hii pesa niweke into a capital account, like kufungua account tuseme hii nataka kufungua ka capital. Because it's not like saizi ukigive up easy luxury, in future utapata. Because trust me, when you are making your 10k from your 9 to 5, and you're having like your extra 7k coming from your business, you can live a kind of comfortable life kwa sababu you have extra cash zenye huku kuwa nazo wakati ulikuwa unafanya nayo, si ndio? Now that is where the mindset comes in. So where do you want to be? You have that 9 to 5 years, but where do you want to go? What strategies are you employing? The same unasema 9 to 5 hizi kutoa block, the same ulikuwa unaona wasee wako na 9 to 5 wanaeka bet, msee anakula 200m, anakula 300m, 500m, 2 years 3 years down the line jamaa amerudi kwanza kubet kwa sababu ile pesa alimaliza yote. It's never about how much you're earning, it's about the mindset you have with what you have. Block utatoka ati kwa sababu uko na pesa mingi. Block unatoka na ile mentality uko nayo. Unataka ku entrepreneur, yeah, this is what I have, this is where I want to go, these are the steps I'm going to take.
But for 9 to 5 for a young man, we also have to be realistic. 9 to 5 is to a block, so you need to look for something else to do apart from 9 to 5, especially if you're still young, and you can be able to do something extra past 5 p.m, right? That's it. I'll advise like you start it at a very young age, like very early, while you still have the energy. In your 20s, make sure if kama unaweza skuma like up to 30 something whatever, start as early as possible. But when you say you rely only 9 to 5 and you're going to cancel some luxury ulikuwa nayo, for example weekend vasha, say nasema kwenda weekend vasha ni mbaya, unaweza cancel, yes, but also when umesema mentality is very important, but also 9 to 5 jobs, we all know like they're not paying that good in Kenya.
Do you really think that there is anywhere in the world that jobs pay well?
Yeah, 9 to 5.
There isn't. Kwa sababu, just look, okay. So for example,
the maju that people call maju.
What's na maju? Why? Kwa sababu umeenda huko mtu amekupatia transport na housing. Si ndio? Mwingine anakupatia wanazitanga service allowance, si ndio? So, the thing yenye amekuondolea ni hizi bills zenye umelipa hapa mtaa. Si ndio? But angalia in the same sense like umekaa mtaa, kuna msana alipoa tuongelele wase like wenye wako na watoi, kama umegrow Nairobi ulikuwa unaona wase wako na watoi 4 5 kwa plot, si ndio? Umzae pengine hata let's talk about the guys that do jua kali, although jua kali hata they earn more money than 9 to 5, so acha tuende mseme umeemploy mahali unalipwa 30k, maybe after taxes and what. Kuna msana managio do alipia watu 5 fees, wavae, wakule, wakunywe. Kweli ama si kweli?
Kweli.
Now, say for example, there are 2 people getting paid the same amount of money. Wewe una familia na yako nayo. He's managing the 30k like that. And you, uko tu ni wewe. Pengine just one responsibility.
And the 30k still like...
it's not even enough to pay your bills.
Yeah.
Why? Because of the mentality. Sindio? But say for example, tunasema, hatusemi pesa inatosha, but tunasema, haba na haba ujaza kibaba. The small you take here, 1k, 2k here, 3k there, you put somewhere. By the end of the year, maybe you have 100 Gs or 200 Gs. Sindio?
Yeah.
The next year, siya tunaacha kuweka juko na hizi. Ukianza kabiashara ya, you continue with this process, na hii ingine ikikuja unatoa hapa pia unaweka hapa. Maybe at the end of that year, you have 250.
Yeah.
The next year, you have 400. The other year, you have 100. Na kutoka block si ati ni wamkele utoke kesho. It's a process. And that is why ilikuwa some time back I was listening to some guys, very wealthy guys talk, and they were saying the problem with us, the younger generation from them, is that we do not understand that wealth takes time to create. So ndio?
Yeah.
Wona amko unapata budako ako 60. Ako na Mercedes Benz, na ako na ka pickup, na ako na ka Pro Box hapo. Sasa Benz ni ya kwenda kushtua wazee wenzake. Hizi zingine ni zake za kazi, na pengine hiyo moja anapatia your mama ende nayo sokoni what. Ndio? Unataka kuamka upate success yake. But if you are to sit down with your, acha tuongelele your mom, kwa sababu babako kuna vitu hata kuambia, but umuulize mkiwa young mlikuwa mnakaji, you'd be even shocked that saa hizo wako na hizo gari, wako na hizo properties, wako na hizo nyumba wamejenga. Why? because these people had to give up something to be where they are. Sindio?
Yeah.
You'd, like me personally, I used to talk to my grandmother because my granddad vile walilelewa kuwa na mali sana, but vile aligrow, the things that man achieved astonished me. The things that he was able to achieve astonished me. And so when I was growing up, wakati tu nikiwa hapo 20s, mid 20s, nilikuwa na hii nini ya like nafanya kazi, pesa itoshi, bills hazitoshi. So I was like how is it that huyu nasikianga snippets za story like they used to even rent outside kwa sababu hawakuwa wamejenga home, but walikuwa wana rent, wanalipa rent na they have kids, watu wana grow. But me coming of age, I find a man that has cars, has houses, has businesses. And even listening to the amount of money he was getting paid where he was employed, I was like, nah, he had to have stolen somewhere some money. And then one day I just sat down with my grandmother and I asked her, so how did you guys make this happen? And then she was like, you know what? It's patience and sacrifice. That is the thing she told me, ni patience na sacrifice. Akaniambia, if you're not willing to sacrifice today's luxury, then tomorrow we'll have to live in poverty and in pain.
Talking on that, that's what your grandmother told you, huh? So do you think like the current or the modern relationship right now, so you as a man, you can find a lady mwenye anaweza sacrifice also her youth or her young age, like whatever, you kwenda vasha venye tumesema before, for you to have a greater future together? Because sahi relationship venye zimesitiwa up sahi, especially for a man, ndo upate mdem like mtaka na most of the ladies, I'm not talking about all, I've seen others wenye wanabuildiana young relationship, watu wanakuja kukaa pamoja, wana build well together, but most of the relationships sahi mademo wanataka kuja kupatukiwa set. So unaona hiyo mentality kitambo kulikuwa na hiyo kuvumilia. I think kama Josh, hiyo episode tulikuwa tunaongelea last, tulikuwa tunaongelea stories za perseverance nini, things that zilikuwa zina hold kitambo. Why marriage kitambo like zilikuwa zina stay longer than sahi kiasi unasikia mnaklapia wase leo, kesho mnasikia wameachana. Kaenda kulizia too much stories. So venye your grandmother told you, do you think like right now unaweza patana with the partner mwenye akona the same mindset? Since tunaongelea mindset,
I think, okay, first and foremost, I think all relationships start like that. Tuanze hapo. For you guys to even start something, you have to have the same mindset, and you have to have, to a degree, the same principles.
Lakini utaenda soko kutafuta sana.
Unasema si hata kutafuta sana. This is where the difference comes in. Now after umepata, kwa sababu kutafuta, sorry to say, ni rahisi than kumaintain. It takes time na ni ngumu, yes, but once you get this, now maintaining it becomes the work, si ndio? So mmepatana, mko yes, but now what now I will nitasema ni value. You know the value? Value ya hiyo kitu yenye mko nayo determines how far you are willing to go and what you are willing to sacrifice.
Okay,
so ndio saizi kuna we have tuko na relationships zenye I don't know if it was you ama ni Joy, tulikuwa tunaongea last time, tulikuwa tunasema there are people you find that they are together and everyone thinks they are not going to make it, but they end up making it. Unajua kwa nini? Kwa sababu sometimes watu hufunga masikio. Kwa sababu they are like, okay, this is what everyone is doing, but fuck that, we will do this. This is what we want. This is how we are going to go about it. This is where we want to be at a certain place. Sindio? But saizi, I don't know if umeona hii trend ilikuwa imetokea juzi, women coming to denounce feminism. Okay? on that there is a podcast nilikuwa nasikiza juzi. And people walikuwa wanasema the same hiyo feminism na watu wanajiita alpha females.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you see like the things these two people are like zile vitu zenye wanajaribu kudisassociate nazo, they were the key values zenye zilikuwa zinafanya marriages back then ziwaka. Unaona vitu kama perseverance, uplifting one another. There is this guy ako he's a Kenyan vlogger anaitwa Time Master K. Why I mention this guy is because listening to his story, alikuwa anasema when he was I think the last born or thereabout, alikuwa anasema when he was in school, they schooled the same schools, I think primary and high school with the mother.
Yeah.
Okay. Anasema how this came about was one day his dad alikuwa na kashamba mahali alikuwa na plant meat. Then as they were doing that activity, then the dad says ati hii miti ni retirement pension yangu, like in 30 years from now or 40 years from now I'll just sell these trees maybe moja and then I make the money to live comfortably. And then the woman asks, I want you to really get this conversation and understand why I'm saying this. And then the woman asks, this is your retirement benefit, what about me? You have to understand these are people who have other mature kids before this guy. They are people who have gone through stuff. Si wazee, yes, per se, but they are pengine in their early 30s. Pengine when this was happening. Sindio?
Yeah.
And then the dad asks, what would you like? So our couples walikuwa in their mid 30s. So the woman akaulizwa na the husband, what do you want? Akasema, mimi nataka kurudi shule. So after wamefanya preparations and nini akarudi I think ilikuwa in class 7, akasoma 7 na 8 ama sijui alirudi somewhere in primary level, then akapita akaenda high school. So the guy alikuwa anasema in high school mamake alikuja akiwa form 2 I think mamake alikuwa ndo wako form 1. So unaona, so ameacha madhake na class moja. So after this alikuwa anasema the husband, babake ndo analipa fees yake na analipia bibi yake shule. Umeshika mpaka hapo? Haya, so after wamemaliza the wife akapita vizuri sana. Akaitwa uni. So alikuwa anaenda I think sijui ni Moi University. I'm not quite sure about the story, but the story vile nakuelezea ndivyo nilisikia akisema. So alikuwa anasema after mamake ameenda uni akafanya teaching kwa mwalimu. But do you understand that the father hajasoma to this level? Alishaweka plan yake ya meeting ndio retirement yake. Now sasa wife yake ameenda shule, amesoma, ameenda uni, amemaliza, amegraduate. Si ndio?
Yes.
This is where I want to show you the difference between their generation and ours. So vile huyu madam aligraduate, amepata shule, ameajiriwa kazi, akarudi kwa bwanake, wanaendelea kulea watoto, kulea ama kuishi pamoja vizuri. Sasa si madam amepewa retirement benefit yake, amesoma, amegraduate, ameachieve goals zake. They don't divorce, they don't do anything, they continue on with life. Ndio? But now that is a mindset of sacrifice and value. Ndio? But in our generation, ukifanyia dem hivyo, you have heard the stories, you have heard everything that goes on. Anakutoka, anaenda kwa mtu mwingine. Ndio? So now this brings me to, yes, tunaweza jenga pamoja, but also this is where I wanted to ask you, nikuulize, how do you know if someone values you the same way you value them? Like mimi, unajua most men love, like wanakuanga truly in love. Men love like ile ya kupenda kabisa, ile ya ako willing to sacrifice anything akupatia kile una need.
Kile una need.
And on that note nilikuwa sikiza another lady akibreakdown alikuwa anasema men mabeste wake wanamuulizanga how do you know if this is your wife or not. Alikuwa anasema the easiest way to know is if ukienda kwa dem mkiongea naye mwambie by the way me nataka kuanza a certain business ama I want to achieve this. You don't have to explain, you don't have to elaborate. Udem ati anafaa mtu mwenye anakuvalue worth yako kwake, na nataka kujua kama wewe ni husband ama ni mna build future. Anafaa ende afanye research ya kuja kwamba by the way you remember what uliniambia ya this is what I've come up, unaweza fanya hivi, unaweza fanya hivi, tunaweza try these different things uone kama utaachieve hiyo goal. But I tend to see men are the people who do that. Demi yako ama wife yako yakuja kwambia mimi sijui nataka nifanye hivi. Mwanaume anaenda anafanya research, anauliza mabeste wake nini akuja like tulikuwa naniambia fanya research, tumefanya sasa, this is how you can go about it. Ama pia unaweza fanya yako then compare which is the best.
Thinking about it, if there's one thing I really like value, vinyetu tumebonga hapo before, if you want to create wealth, you need to have like a community or empowerment in a way. So you know, by your own, like 5 to 9, 9 to 5, and as we normally put it, let's say for example, when tulisema before like habahabu jaza kibaba, you can imagine in a scenario whereby let's say where you stay, unaka pamoja, unaka peke yako, so rent unalipa, and then you find someone, you bring her there, you are staying together, right? So rent ulikuwa unalipa, still bado unalipa the same rent, but now you are two, and both of you are working. Inamaanisha mtagawana some roles, especially when it comes to finances, in terms of welipa rent, mimi nitashughulikia maybe bills za electricity na food. You'll find you are saving up like some extra than before. Sasa si before ulikuwa na peke yako, now you have someone there. So for me, like I really value empowerment, and when I see people like wanakuja together, but the problem comes with the mindset. So you finding the right person, that this is the person that tuna share the same mindset na values. Venye tumeongea, mindset is what you think, basically, right? Values, these are your principles, your core principles that guide you on how you see the world and whatever. So unaweza pata wewe how you think, especially one of the most, like kama usema kama kuna value mimi uko nime hold up above anything else. Unajua maybe tutaongelea values, stories are respect, accountability, nini ni integrity. Me I think integrity ni ina overrun kila kitu. So maybe how your mindset is and how my mindset is, like I'm yuko aligned. I'm yuko aligned. So wewe unasema for example, so wewe end month unapata salo, una kama uneka 100% kwa meza, the other person anaka 80, anakuambia hii ni 100% yake. Already hapo tayari ashaanza kucheza integrity yako, because ujui ana plan nini.
Hata si hivyo, like now if you can recall, saizi kuna kuana notion inakuanga ati amani's provision, total provision yako. Hakuna kuwa na hii mentality ya my money as a man is our money, her money is her money. Sindio?
Yeah.
But does that really work in real life?
No.
Does it make sense?
No. So before, unaona before, like so our parents, and I agree wholly, like fully, you know, before our parents, like our dads and our granddads, during those days, like how ndo walikuwa na provide fully, because basically I can also speak about my family. So mimi nimetoka kwa homestead yenye my mom pia alikuwa ameko kama housewife, kwa anakuwa hao anakuwa provided for. Same to my grandparents, like my grandmother, great grandmother, like hiyo nilifuatilia hiyo lineage. Nikuulizia kulikuwa kunaenda aje, but now you see things that have evolved, right? Even sai, for example, For me siwezi kudanganya, me I'll speak about myself. Mi sahi siwezi taka kuwa na dem anakaa mnamweke kama housewife because vitu zimechange. It's also good to have your own money.
That is true.
As a woman,
it's true. You have to have something you're aspiring to.
Even me as a man at the moment, I want to find you having your own money. Si ati nakuchukua na kama nakuweka kwangu sasa ka housewife. Zizi. Despite like beauty, maybe there are things maybe I'm looking for. Leave alone the physicality, character, whatever. But also you need to have something of your own, understand? Because either way, before I came to the picture, life yako kuna venye ilikuwa ina run. And you wouldn't want to stop it at because sasa umekuja sasa unasema umepatana sasa na mama anasema sasa mimi sasa nilikuwa natafuta. It's the end. Unakatukwa hao ati enje atanitafutia.
But that is the mindset of most people. Yeah, like ndo nakwambia, unaona there is this over information and okay, sijui nitasemaje because I don't think the people who broadcast this ama the people who put this information out there have the best interest of partnership to succeed. Ndio?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand how anyone in their right mind would say pesa yako, okay, yes, pesa yangu ni yetu sisi wote.
Yeah.
So if I take care of all the bills and I have no reserve, which means any emergency that comes into that house will never get catered for.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu there are no reserves in that house whatsoever.
Yes, 100%.
Sindio? But then you want to tell me that is the definition of love and wanaitangaje kujituma on the man's part.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Mjengo.
That is the reason as to why unapata mental health za wase wengi saa hizi zimeenda to shit. Because they subscribed to something that was unrealistic. And when it's no longer working, na umekopa, you have bills left, right and center, then what do you do next? You have nowhere to turn to. You can't turn to your friends. Niko na deni ya Lucheli 100k. Niko na deni ya Kosia 200k. Niko na deni ya mtu mwingine. Like your bills ziko so much, hata ukishikwa ufungwe, there is no use. Kila mtu hata anaona hakuna use. Wewe acha tu tukuachie dunia. So you come to a point as a man, you have nowhere to turn to.
Yeah.
Because of this mentality. Like, but say for example, ulikam vile ulikuwa unasema, okay, I'll do the major bills. I'll take care pengine for our house, health insurance, and you just take care of the water, pengine food and something else. Sindio? You forget that even this person, umemkatia expenses na halfway. Kwenye alikuwa anakaa peke yake, everything was 100% them.
For real?
Sindio? So all of you have saved halfway.
Yeah.
Kila mtu mwenye kwa hiyo nyumba amesave do. Then now this is where it comes vile ulikuwa unasema 9 to 5 inaweza kutoa block in this way. If wewe ulikuwa umemanage kusave 20k, yeah, amemanage kusave 20k.
Yeah.
You guys have combined capital of 40,000.
Yes.
Yenye mnaweza come pamoja mcreate something wonderful. But most people are lacking what you said, integrity na openness. Unajua kuna honesty na kuna kuwa open. Honesty ni where I just tell you the truth, but I don't elaborate further from that. So except what I tell you, do not know anything else. You are honest, yes, lakini kuna ile openness, like unajua kabisa if this was to happen, this is the dominoes fall in this direction. Ndio? Now most relationship hazina hiyo, na ni kwa sababu ya ile mtu anakanga place anasema okay, my mentality is this, when I get into this is what I want to achieve. But throughout vile ulikuwa unasema unaanza kuona integrity ya huyo mtu, kuna vile yambatani, what they say, what they do does not align kabisa with who they present themselves to be. Because you know, unaambiwango unaweza vaa mask siku moja siku mbili.
Yeah.
But ukiishi na mtu haezi vaa mask for 1 year. One day, one time ita slip too. And when that mask slips, you see the true version of what you have ama the person they are.
Yeah.
Trust me, you. Everything, all the hopes and nini ulikuwa nazo zinakufianga hapo. Ndio?
Yes, kweli.
Nivo?
Yeah, I agree on that.
Nivo? The other thing ilikuwa kwambia ni value. See, values, value, worth of something.
Worth of something.
If this thing is worth the world to you, trust me, you. Unaona vile ulikuwa unakaa chini unaniambia nilikuwa nakupa story ya Jodo. Wewe imagine umetoa 20 G's umebuy a pair of Jordans. Unaweza taka kuona zikikuwa ati na scarf marks kweli? Hadi kuosha uwezi osha hadi na hata sijui unachukua handkerchief afadhali na toothbrush afadhali ushinde hapo. Mtu akuuliza hizi nini unafanya, alichelewa ambia this is 20,000 I'm holding. That is the value of what you have.
Yeah.
But right now I don't think our relationships have value, and that is why people tend to play around with each other. Kwa sababu you don't value them. Whatever has value to you, you will protect it tooth and nail. Because the value that it holds to you means more to you than anything else around you.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Kweli.
So, vitu kama tunaanza na mentality, tunaanza na values vile ulisema na tunaenda kwa value. If all these things ziko incorporated in that relationship, and not only in romantic, even in platonic, even in families,
in your way of life hata.
Like in your way of life, if that is how everyone approaches everything, then we'd have a very nice society. A very nice society. And that is where I think tuna going wrong. The difference between us and the whites. If you look at how they operate, they are very open people.
Yeah.
They'll tell you this. They'll give you honesty and openness together. Atakwambia tu, I'm telling you this because of this. This is the honest truth. And anakuelaboratea kidogo so that you see the value of what he's telling you.
Yeah.
So your value wakati na come together na integrity na pia your mentality, then you create something that is unbroken by over information, under information, external forces, kwa sababu mumebuild ile base yenye ni strong. That is why you find our grandmother, vile ulikuwa unasema our grandfather used to provide 100%. They didn't. Kwa sababu yeye amepewa kakitu kadogo na baba pa ng'ombe na mbuzi wakati ameoa, ameambiwa this is your wealth, grow it.
Yeah.
Yeye akienda huko msituni kwenda kutafuta kunini na wenzake kwenda kutafuta nyama ya kukula, anaachia nani ng'ombe na mbuzi? Anaachia bibi, si ndio? Mbuzi ingezaa na bibi achukue akauze na bila kusema, na wewe hutawahi jua. Unasema na mbona hizi mbuzi hazizanangi? But they worked towards that. Anakuja anamwambia hey baba nani, tumelima hii 1 acre hapa, but nilikuwa naona if we can manage uite tu wazee ama vijana tulime another acre pale. Usijali, mimi ndatafuta wanawake tutaangalia hiyo shamba, wewe tu lima mpande, the rest niachie. That is value, because yeye ameweka half of her nini. Because for us tunakaa chini tunadhani pesa peke yake ndo what you can offer in a relationship. But kuna wewe unaweza kuwa you are good at my financial things, kutafuta do. But inaweza kuwa you are not good kwa akili ya kuinvest.
You don't have the mindset. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
Inaweza kuwa she's very good at investments. She's very good at even convincing people.
Yes.
Kuna all sorts of capital. Kuna equity, kuna sweat capital, kuna manpower capital. Sindio?
Yeah.
The relationships before our mothers, our grandfathers' relationships worked because everyone had something they were contributing to that family. Usiwahi dhani ati wanawake wa hiyo time wako wana contribute. Ya kina nani walikuwa wanaenda kulima? And imagine with all that toil and sweat, they never used to sell anything. The man would come and sell.
Yeah.
The man would come and sell.
Yeah.
And he would even at some time not give the money to the woman after yeye ndio ameangalia shamba. Because for him in his mindset he's like, okay, naweza kupatia hii nusu ya hii pesa because yes you worked for it. But what if to buy ng'ombe 2 za maziwa?
but sasa unajua history unaniambia the current generation hawezi persevere.
They can.
Yeah, they can't.
They can. Wacha nikwambie why they can.
They can, but they can't.
Wacha nikwambie why they can. When we started our podcast today, kuna couples ulitaja like akina Bahati. They are the only watu wenye walianza hiyo time na wao. I would think they are the only people surviving without too much shenanigans as a couple.
Yeah.
I would think. Wacha na hizi zenye wanaweka kwa media like serious their relationship. After what umesikia wase wamewapitishia through the things they say, that like mental torture and everything they wanaongelele wangu. But these people persevere and go through it day by day. Why? Because they have a common goal. Even hata sidhani vile Bahati like unaonanga zile vitu alikuwa anafanya, anasimama nini, anaanguka, anafungua businesses zikianguka. How many people of the same caliber wameachana na maboyfriends wao ama na so called husbands kwa sababu their businesses are no longer working ama their careers are no longer hyped kama vile zilikuwa. But for her, she's good at creating awareness and drama for the husband to shine through. That is the value she has in that relationship. That is what she brings. You know that shenanigans keeps them paid day in, day out. And I would think they have a common goal together. Because sidhani ati hizo vitu zote they don't get to them. Sometimes they do. Pengine dem atasema sasa tuachane tu na hizi story, usikia vile watu wanaongea, vile watu wana behave nini. But pia naye anamwambia no. This is how we make our daily bread. This is how we have survived so far. Not only them, so many other guys out here wenye wayuko kwa limelight, they are working. Hata wewe unajua wase kwa mtaa, you are like now they are a bit wealthy. Wanaweza kuwa they are not extremely wealthy, but vile uliwajua from day one and where they are today. Na ni kwa nini? Because they stuck together and they had something. Everyone is contributing something. But hizi marriages unaona zikivunjika ni kwa sababu wait iko side moja.
Okay. Let me take you back. Kuna kitu mention about white people being honest and open, right?
Yeah.
So there's something I would like to ask. Do you think like black people need white people?
Personally, I think we need each other because we complement.
Yeah, best with your own experiences, like of the two.
I think
what are the values that you have gotten based on your interaction with them, apart from of which you have said one which like I also have experienced and have seen when they are open, they are honest and they are open.
Yeah.
So they tell you like if you do this, these are the repercussions.
Yeah.
Very straightforward.
The thing by there I like about them, but why? Because I've met some few people and they will, if they don't like you, they'll tell you to your face. I don't like you. I don't like what you stand for. But that nonetheless will not make me not associate with you.
Yeah.
Because there's something you're bringing to my table that is worth me overlooking anything else you have and associating with you because of what I get from you.
Yeah.
Unaona? But us as blacks hatuna hiyo openness na hiyo integrity ya kukua straightforward.
What about when it comes to the mindset of generational wealth? Like you see, for us unakuwaga na ile like mentality ya you know, I need to help my mom or I need to help my dad. They took care of me, stories za shule ever since you were born, right? And you have come like for example on this side unakam try to interact now wasi wanakushow au like they, for them what they think and what they say is that it was the responsibility of the parents because they are the ones who brought them to this life to take care of them in terms of education, food and clothing until they reach a certain age and then they let them go. whatever
Sure.
now they get from there, it's their own like wealth they're building, right? And this is how they pass it from generation to generation. So what will you say like is the difference between that mindset and the, let's say for us also, like the black tax?
First and foremost, you do realize that back in the day we also used to have generational wealth. Hizi vitu za
Kukatiwa
tunafaa
shamba.
kuanza kuangalia
Kukatiwa
wazazi
shamba.
imeanza juzi. Why? In my culture where I come from,
Yeah.
if you are to as a young man when you're getting married,
Okay.
your dad would sit you down and tell you, now you're becoming a man. Or not necessarily a man, because there is that
You're
stage you already
maturing.
did. But now you're becoming another man. You are responsible for someone else's child. Sindio?
Yeah.
What they would do, they would go to their shed, they'd give you a cow, a male and a female cow. They'd also give you goat or sheep, per se, in the same category. As your dad would tell you,
Yeah.
now you are responsible for another person's daughter. So they'd give you a cow, male and female. They would give you a goat, sheep, or anything, same male and female.
Yeah.
Then they'd give you a parcel of land somewhere to akwambia, now you build there, start your family from there. Or if they had the resources, they would do it for you. Okay. After that, then your mother, now we are talking in our grandfather's time.
Yeah.
Your mother would also give something to your wife. Okay.
Yeah.
She would give maybe pots, whatever she'd give the wife. And then now they would tell you guys, start your life. Okay. This is wealth passed to you because you didn't have this thing.
Yes.
It's up to you now to grow that wealth. Sindio?
Yeah.
The same way, for them, they are passed down. Whatever small businesses their families have started, it's passed down. Until now, ikifika to this point, unapata they are multi-billion companies, whatever. But initially, they didn't start like that. They were passed down through generations, growing and expanding to where we are. Sindio?
Yeah.
Now, the problem with us is that when these people came to us, they diluted our cultures, our ways of practices, and they introduced their own culture and their way of practices, which in turn collided with what we used to do. Now, between that generation I was telling you about and where we are today, there was a generation that didn't know what to do. Because, and this is something we'll do on our next pod, but let's slightly touch on it. What the white people did when they came to us, they found ways to distort our way of life and create division between us, our wives, because us and our wives.
Yeah.
That between that generation, because you want to continue the legacy that was left to you by your grandfather and his grandfather and the father before that. But your wife would tell you, no, those are olden days. Now we have a new way of life. And that is why unapata saizi tuko na hizo vitu kama black tax. But there is no other nation ama other race that have that kind of tax. It is what your father has made. He will give it to you. You will multiply it to your best of your ability. And then using that, you will take care of them.
But sasa, you know the white people saw wanasemaga, we need to see it as ni kama mzigo. You understand?
But it's a burden. Wacha nikwambie kwa nini burden. Saizi wewe, Licheli, you are working, sindio? Umemake it kweli? As we are talking right now, can you say you have made it in life?
Mi niko in the process. Mi niko almost.
You're in the process, but you haven't, sindio?
Yeah.
That is why you're still working.
Yeah.
You do not have the amount of wealth that requires you not to work. Sindio? So whatever small resources you have, uchukue, upeleke pali kwingine. It's good. Hakuna mtu anasema usaidie wazazi. It's also your responsibility to look after them.
Yeah.
Because after all, they had the option not to look after you. But they did look after you, however best they could. But now, take what you have and give to them. You carry the same cycle of poverty to your
kids.
Because
They have
when
to
you
give
start
it-
having kids,
Yeah.
you do not have enough resources to give them the best life possible and pass something to them.
Yeah.
You could always not have wealth to pass to your kids,
Okay.
but you can have enough to make sure they never use their own wealth or whatever it is they're creating to look after you.
Yeah.
That way, whatever they get, you direct them and tell them it's up to you to start creating generational wealth for our generation. You should not give me anything. You should not look after me. I have enough for me and my wife. Since, after all, it's only the both of you that will be left behind. Siniwe na bibi yako mnaachwa kwa nyumba. Your kids are done and gone. Sindio?
Yeah, and this is where I agree with you. For me, I say the best thing you can give your kids is education. So once you give them this education, and then you can tell them, no, I need you guys to look for your own wealth. But for you as parents, you need to have reserved something for you to take care of you two until
until you
till
die.
death or whatever.
Okay.
That's its thing.
So,
but now that dependency of the black tax, I think is the one which like makes us in a common language usiwai toka block, because it keep on recurring to the next generation. You keep on taking care of your parents, and then when it comes to time, your children, they have to take care of you, and to the next and to the next and the next. So this is one of the things, like for example, the white people, I'll agree with them, at least wana expand mindset yako na kuambia try get enough for yourself so that you don't have to hustle on your children to take care of you.
Now, I remember in episode, I think 29 or 28, 29, 30, 31, I would think, we were trying also to say the same thing. So I think guys should just go and watch and say, we were trying and say, for every generational success, someone has to sacrifice something.
Yeah, someone paid the price.
Someone paid a price.
Price somewhere. Yeah, I remember. This one was about the Somalis.
Yeah, someone paid the price. Sometimes the price might be you overlooking them to create this that may help you, and you maybe they might not help your siblings, but their kids and the kids of their kids, like the entire generation that comes after you guys, have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu there is no any given time no one is willing to sacrifice, and then you want to tell me there is wealth or success to be gained. Like I told you, if you want to gain a good physique and maintain a good body weight, you have to give up something for that. You have to give up the junk food. You have to give up some lifestyles. You have to be able to accept that you will go to the gym or you'll go do some exercise. They'll be painful. They'll be uncomfortable. You will have to do them even when the weather is not favorable. You'll have to do them even when you feel like you don't want to do them.
Yeah.
All these things are sacrifices that you make to gain what you want. So, every generation has to have someone who is going to sacrifice something for you to create that wealth that is going to be handed down for future generations. You don't know. So next time, I think when we look at this generational wealth and whatnot, all these things will be involved. The mindset, first and foremost. As we were saying, you need that 9 to 5 because it's not like you have a trust fund somewhere. That is your trust fund as for now.
Yeah.
You have the strength to work that 9 to 5 fund. If your partner comes in and you share the same goals, you share the same wants and needs, then they will also come and sacrifice whatever it is you are willing to sacrifice, regardless of what the society says, regardless of what the people are saying, the internet, and regardless of what the friends and family are going to say. Why? You have a common goal. Buda, kama ulienda local high school, unataka watoto wako waende international.
Yeah.
Si ndio? Kama we trip zako zilikuwa ni za Nakuru, unataka mtoto wako at least aende Zanzibar. Why? Because even that broadens their mindset. It expounds on them wanting more than what they have seen. Unaona, kila mtu, unajua, I don't know, if you remember the first time you ever worked and bought yourself something, like ile shoe ulikuwa unatamani, ile simu ulikuwa unatamani, the moment you bought that for yourself, not through anyone's help, but wewe peke yako, that made your mind, it's like it exploded kama fireworks. You're like, oh my god, I can achieve so much more because you took that first step. That is what we need as this generation. Unaona, inafaa kwanza, the first and foremost, tuachane na mambo ya western history ati ya we see what they are doing, what they are saying on the internet. Hata we don't experience it, we see in the internet, because those are the agendas they are pushing to us. Unakumbuka tukianza tulikuwa tunasema mambo ya speed na vile wanatuonyesha huko.
Yeah.
So you can imagine if that is what they are doing, do you think the agendas they are pushing to us, the rest of the world, are the things that they do themselves? Because if you see, these people have maintained their culture throughout. That is also something we will cover, but that is the thing. They have maintained their culture, they have maintained their way of life, but what they tell us to do is totally opposite from what they do in their own countries. Sindio?
Yeah.
Now this comes from, let us understand, we can't go back to our great-grandparents' era, we can't go back to our grandparents' era, neither can we go back to our parents' era. Let us now create our own culture going forward, a culture that involves wealth generation, a culture that involves pure intention. Kwa sababu, the thing is, you only have this one lifetime to get it right. Why not do it the way you want it to be done? Tuachane na vile fulani anafanya mambo yake. Let us sit down with whoever it is that you have and say, this is how I want us to go about it. And if you, the other person, either you ama you have significant other, una feel like that is not for you, just be honest and open about it. This is not for me. Then if they can live with you in that manner, sawa. If they can't, ataenda atafute mse mwingine. Yeah, and that, I think that point tutamalizia hapo.
On that point tutamalizia hapo. I think one of the best points my takeaways ni venye pia ulikuwa umeniambia before. You know, relationship is all about adding value to each other.
Yeah.
So the moment I think we are not adding any value to each other, is when unapata wase wanaachana.
Yeah.
So on that point, I would like to tell our viewers, najua mmekuwa mkitu watch, and ebu imagine more than 70% of our viewers wenye wanaochigi hawaja subscribe. So please try and hit the subscribe button so that you can get notification wherever we drop any episode on the Wakilisha. And also please remember to place your orders. So we are doing merchandise, t-shirt, hoodies, capes, plates, anything we can design for you. Na tukuweke Wakilisha logo. And if you want, Valentine is coming, by the way, next month. Mpoa pia unaweza kuja umitishi kitu hapo hivyo Wakilisha. I think tuko na kila kitu, si ndio?
Yeah.
So those who are looking for something to surprise their beloved one on Valentine's, of which is the next month, is very soon. You can reach us through the number displayed below, and we can we'll meet your expectations of what you desire. So thank you guys, thank you NJ. It has been real conversation, so we'll keep on engaging in more episodes to come. Keep on coming, the same vibes, the same energy. I think also I learn a lot personally pia.
Thank you too for having me and making it a very enjoyable conversation. So to our audience, wacha tuwa insist, wa comment, wa like, wa share. Let us know what you think about what we have said. What also you'd want us to talk about, tackle next time. Until next time, adios.
Adios, good people.